We always try at these Observer events not just to talk about policy, but to talk about the person and ask them personal questions. And some of the first questions from my colleague Andrew Rawnsley were about David Miliband's background, about the way that his father and his grandfathers were refugees from Nazi Germany. And David Miliband talked very movingly about his history, about his family's history, and then how his family's history really fed into his political makeup and helped him make him the politician that he is today.
Now, he's been described as the Wayne Rooney of Labour's cabinet. You're the political editor of The Observer. What do you sense in terms of Westminster gossip and insiders saying about Miliband and what his future might hold?
Well, I think that he's doing very well. He's very assured as Foreign Secretary. It was a very serious promotion. He was only 41 when he was made Foreign Secretary, the youngest Foreign Secretary in 30 years. Quite a portfolio to take on. He's handled himself in a measured way, and this evening's questions, when he was asked about Iran, when he was asked about lots of foreign policy issues, he is totally across his portfolio. But what it means for the future, well, Gordon Brown's position is so secure within the government. Labour is doing so well that nobody is speculating at the moment about who might replace Gordon Brown, because that is so far off. So what people at this conference are talking about is how are ministers doing in their portfolios. And for David Miliband, the thinking is that he's doing pretty well.
Bear with me in terms of the future. If Miliband's vote came in and he got a chance to go for the leadership in a few years' time, anybody else that's a rising star of the similar generation of Miliband that might challenge him in the future?
Well, there are lots of rising stars, and what we have to think about is that 2 or 3 years ago we all knew that there was going to be a contest, so the speculation was pretty serious and it was pretty obvious that there was only one candidate. We don't know when there's going to be a contest for the Labour leadership. It is probably a very, very long way off. So anything could happen between now and whatever it is, 5, 6, 7 years' time. But yes, there are certainly stars. There is David Miliband, who's the Foreign Secretary. There's Ed Balls, who's the School Secretary. There's Ed Miliband, David Miliband's brother. There are lots of very serious, very impressive politicians. And who knows will be the best one in 5 or 6 years' time? We don't know.
And in terms of Miliband's current job, has he got a big problem looming with Iran?
Well, I think that the world has a big problem looming with Iran, and it's interesting that David Miliband is going to be leaving Bournemouth and going to New York for the meeting of the UN General Assembly. He told this meeting that he'll be meeting the Iranian foreign minister. So yes, that is a problem that has to be dealt with. But the message that he put across, and indeed this was the message from the last government, is that Britain can't solve this alone. Indeed, we hope that the United States can't solve this problem alone. Britain working with its European partners, Britain working with the United States, and indeed Britain working with countries across the world will help to solve this solution. But it's been dragging on for a very, very long time, and there will at some point come a point when pretty serious decisions are going to have to be made.